Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Panapa.
And this is Maruti Acharya, and we just completed watching Ajit Kumar's Padma Bhushan Ajit Kumar's Vida Muyurchi, starring Ajit Kumar, Trisha Krishnan, Arjun Sarja, Regina Cassandra, and the movie is directed by Magik Tirumeni and produced by Laika Productions and music by Anirudh Ravichandran. Public reaction, celebrations, everything is on the channel. Do check that out as well. Coming to our one-line review. For me, it is an interesting attempt, but failed to become an interesting film. It's entertaining, but not interesting.
For me, it wasn't interesting. I didn't think it was entertaining as well. Ruko. For me, I expected this to be an action entertainer, a thriller. Even in the, if you look at all the promotional videos that were left out and what we have spoken about it, it promised to be a good actioner, but then it wasn't. So that is the biggest letdown for me.
Yeah, so let's get into the details and let's talk about what we liked and what worked for us and what didn't work for us. But before that, this is the segment where we give a movie review fresh initially, mostly from the theater or outside the theater, so that we
It's supposed to be as fresh as possible. It is bringing to you the experience right after watching the film as soon as possible. We just want to be as unfiltered as possible right after watching the film.
Yeah, so if you like this item, please do like and mention it in the comments below so that we will understand that you're liking this. So let's get into the details. What worked for me? For me, the technical departments, especially cinematography and the production design, setting up the world, taking us into the mood, and setting the whole theme of what they are trying to do. They have done a phenomenal job. Also, the stunt department, with whatever they have been assigned, they have done a phenomenal job in achieving that on big screen, complemented by Anirudh's music.
For me, the one thing that worked the most is Anirudh's music because that keeps the film running. Otherwise, in an otherwise very low on energy film, this music keeps the film running. Apart from that, I would like to cinematography. Of course, yes, this whole color palette and cinematography is something that hasn't been tried, so that is really nice. But the most props I would like to give here is for the stunt department. Again, not for the action choreographers, but the stunt department, because the stunts in the film is really nice. The stunts, especially since you know that it is actually done by Ajit and all of it, and also the way it has been choreographed, the making video we got to see. Also, that adds a little. So that adds a little scope for when you see it on the screen. But then, still, the stunt team deserves a lot of props. Action choreography, getting to the parts that didn't work for me. Again, the biggest letdown for me is the action choreography in the film because I walked into the theaters thinking that this is going to be a full-on action fiesta, but then it was not even a fee. First half, I got tired waiting for action in the first half. It never came. In the second half, there was chunks here, bits and pieces, but then it seemed like in order to keep it more grounded, they let go of all the charisma that is required. I understand that Ajit's character is not, the action guy. He is trying to survive and save his wife. He's a guy, just a normal guy who's trying to save his wife. But then it felt like no adrenaline was pumping in me when the action was happening. I wanted that adrenaline rush. The emotions weren't hitting me. Whatever was going on, the drama wasn't hitting me. All the characters seem way too eccentric for a film which was trying to be grounded. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the villains, Arjun Sarja and Regina Cassandra, the whole character written for them is so eccentric.
Correct.
And the kind of acting they are doing is eccentric. But then the whole screenplay and everything else is trying to be very grounded. These are villains from some other film which are just dumped into this.
Okay.
Or dumped in this world. It just didn't sit well.
That definitely didn't work for me as well. And basically, overall, it's the execution starting from the choices that the director was making in terms of. See, there are interesting ideas, okay? What is the idea behind Arjun Sarja's character without revealing much details, Regina Cassandra character? They were really interesting. There were the initial portions and the setup was really interesting. And there is this one portion, a conversation between Regina and Ajit and Regina and Trisha. The idea that they were trying to build and try to create was really, really good. But the choices with camera, the choices with editing, the choices with the whole setup of the scene, and trying to not able to figure out which scene needs how much of screen time and which scene some portions seems unnecessarily rushed. and some portions feel unnecessarily stretched. So I feel like the director couldn't manage to get the intensity which the material has onto the big screen. That is the reason why there is action happening, there is emotional scenes happening, including the climax. The big reveal should be something that you should feel like, oh, but you just feel, oh. So that is the point, right? All the other departments have done their best to bring this world onto big screen with their execution, but the problem is mostly with the director, who struggled a lot to understand and figure out the right choices in terms of execution to bring this whole idea onto big screen, because the source material is pretty much, I don't want to reveal it, it is already standard and it is there. So the ideas and the execution is something where the movie definitely faltered.
The idea is something that is supposed to be very gruesome and
Yes.
you know, something that you can't digest. It's supposed to hit you in the gut.
Yeah.
But then the whole choice of, you know, watering it down didn't really add any flavor to the film. That
Correct.
it took away from the flavor of the film actually.
Correct. A lot of people might feel that the first half is very, very slow and there's no action sequence, just like Sanjay felt. But I felt like it might lead up to a setup. This is a setup, and it might lead up to a better second half where, you know, we'll get all the emotional pump and all of that. But the setup is so much. It's like an entire half movie. The first half, entire half is setup, where when the reveal or the proceedings happen, you would just feel like so much of setup for this. That is how you feel, and it's not because the ideas are bad. There are very interesting ideas, but it's the execution that will make you feel that, oh. And even action choreography, for that matter, was not complementing the intensity of the scene, because we have Ajit on screen. You can make him do like crazy things. I understand that they are trying to keep him grounded. He's a normal guy. He's in a situation, but still some innovation in those aspects was something that I was expecting.
Since we brought up Ajit, we have to talk about, he is that vulnerable guy on the screen here. Definitely something very fresh to see, especially after a long
Yeah.
time, because we've gotten adjusted to this whole thallaness on the screen.
Yeah.
Thallaness on the screen, that you just, it is so different to see him being so vulnerable from the get-go.
Yes.
And for him to give himself up like that, give up all that aura, shed that whole weight, literally and also figuratively, it is just, it felt very nice when I first started watching the film to see him, you know, like that. For that, I would definitely love to give him some credit.
Definitely, because Ajit Kumar in this movie,
And
is,
he has a lot going on also right now, so
yeah,
kudos to him.
he was being Arjun. I don't think he wanted any of Ajitness in the movie. He's playing the character Arjun, and he was doing that. And his performance in some scenes really, I got connected, especially in the first half. I could feel him, and with the scenes, emotional scenes, even Trisha's performance was good. And there's this one scene where Regina Cassandra actually killed it, but it is the execution. So, like I told, it is an interesting idea, but not an interesting film. But for Ajit fans, this might work.
I also feel like this film is for Ajit fans to just enjoy seeing him back on the big screen. But it also could be for everyone else who loves slow burn films. That is one place where I
Yeah.
can see this film working. But still, irrespective of all of that, if you are interested in the film, if you are interested in watching it, please do go and watch it in the theaters.
Yeah.
Like, we do give our reviews, we do give our opinions, but we never say this is something that you should watch, this is something you shouldn't watch, especially. Go and watch all the films in the theaters. The films, the movies, the movie makers, everybody needs our love and support, and we should be out there to give it to them.
I wanted this movie to work very badly, and I've been mentioning in all the videos. It worked in portions, but if you think as it as an action film, I think it might disappoint you. Mention your opinions in the comments below. For more such videos, please like, share, and support.
Yes, and
So that-
also let's see if it will work at the box office. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. So let's just see what
Let's
the
just
box
see,
office
yeah.
has to say about the film. Let's
Yeah,
see.
not just box office. If you liked the movie, why did you like? Why, if you don't agree to some points that we mentioned, mention that also in the comments below.
Yes.
Yes, with that, this is Maruti Acharya,
And I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
and you're watching India Today.